Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you had a great Monday. Hope all of you had a great start to your week. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. And man, oh man, we are pretty much going to be piggybacking off our most recent video where we talked about Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns. If you haven't seen that video, feel free to check it out for yourself, get yourself caught up to speed and whatnot. But long story short, we talked about how things in Cleveland, they weren't looking too good for Shedeur. And the reasoning for that, it is the main reason I even made that video is because he is fighting just to get reps. To go on top of that, I told you guys in that video, I told you after the draft night what the Browns are going to do. They are going to bury him on the depth chart. It doesn't matter how good he performs in practice, he's not going to get a legit shot and opportunity to win this starting job. And we've seen that. Out of all four guys battling out for a starting spot, he's QB4. He's dead last. And the last time we talked about Sanders, which was before the weekend, Dillon Gabriel, who was taken right before him, he was even getting some first-team reps. What's ironic about all of this is it's only been 3 days and a lot, and I mean a lot, has changed for the Browns and Shedeur. Before the weekend, this is where he stood in the quarterback race. He was locked in at QB4. Pickett, Flacco, and Gabriel, they were all battling it out for QB1. Shedeur was an afterthought. I have seen people saying, oh, well, they're only letting Pickett get reps with the ones and hyping him up because they're going to try to trade him. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, but right now, as when I'm speaking about this video, Pickett, he's on the Browns. So I'm not even going to talk about, oh, yeah, they're trying to trade him. Oh, yeah, too, I got to address this. I saw a bunch of you comment on the recent video saying, Matt, you said, and I quote, Shedeur Sanders has been staying out of trouble, laying low, minding his own business, but he got a speeding ticket for going 110 miles per hour this offseason. Look, I'm going to keep it a Fortnite V-Buck with you, man. I really could care less about Shedeur Sanders getting a speeding ticket. Number one, that's not newsworthy to me. Number two, 99.9% of you watching this video, you were speeding today if you drove. Granted, because I already know what Timothy and Bobby are running to the comment section and say, well, Matt, he was going 110 miles per hour. That's reckless, yada, yada, yada. Calm down, buddy. I get it. I'm not advocating for what he did. I'm not saying it's right. He's 100% in the wrong. Nobody in their right mind should be going 110 miles per hour. But I refuse to sit up here and act like a speeding ticket is a big deal. If he would have assaulted somebody, oh yeah, completely different conversation. But a speeding ticket? Come on, man. What are we talking about? Also, I gotta address this. It's another elephant in the room. People are saying, well, Matt, you said he's a great teammate, but at Colorado, he threw his team and offensive line under the bus all the time. Those are good points, and I'm going to be 100% honest with y'all. I've already forgotten about that stuff. I do remember him throwing the offensive line under the bus one time, but it goes back to this for me. His offensive line was so abysmal, and when people ask you about it and you're like, yeah, I don't have time to throw, is that throwing them under the bus or is that telling the truth? I'm not even trying to talk about this. Here's the last thing I'm going to say about that, and we got to get a move on with this video. I think Shedeur Sanders is misunderstood. However, I understand him where he's coming from. I don't think he has any ill will or intent with his words ever. Do I think it comes off as cocky? Yeah, absolutely. Do I think his message is delivered wrong sometimes? You got that right too, but that's just how he is. I'm not going to sit up here and debate about that for the next 5 to 10 minutes because that could be a video in its own right, but I did want to elaborate on what some people are saying because there's a lot of people out here that they're trying to make Shedeur Sanders seem like he's Johnny Manziel 2.0, and he's just not even close to that. And I'm not talking about their football abilities, I'm talking about their attitudes. Nowhere close. You can say what you want about Shedeur, but you can't question his work ethic. All he knows is work, and guess what? He stays out of trouble. And contrary to popular belief, a lot of his teammates at Colorado actually really liked him. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to sit up here and try to convince you to like Shedeur Sanders. If you don't, to each your own. However, I like him. Now, getting that out the way, sorry, did want to address some of that. Let's lock in. Let's get down to business. So things have drastically changed with the Cleveland Browns. And when I say drastically, I don't know if that word does enough justice. So I've been keeping up and watching this closely. On Saturday, Shedeur Sanders was by far the best quarterback out of the bunch. For those of you who don't know what's going on with the Cleveland Browns, they've started up training camp. And yeah, all these guys, they're getting reps. I'm going to show it to you right here. Flacco, 4 for 8. Sanders, 8 for 11, 3 touchdowns. Let me say it again, 3 tutties, 0 INTs, taking care of the football. Pickett, 6 for 10, 2 touchdowns, 0 INTs. We'll come back to him in just a second. A little foreshadowing. Dillon Gabriel, 8 for 15, 1 touchdown, 0 INTs. I wouldn't dare say any of these guys had a bad day, but the one that jumps out to you and it catches my eye the most is Sanders, 3 touchdowns. Why is that important? Why are we bringing it up? Great question, my friend. I'll let answer because this is supposed to be their QB4. It almost feels like to me They're hoping Shedeur Sanders doesn't succeed, so they have a reason not to play him, but he's going out there and he's balling out. But what is everybody saying? And it is worth throwing in there. You got to put an asterisk next to this 8 for 11 through touchdowns. It's not against the ones, it's against the twos. But here's where things get interesting. Recently, Kenny Pickett injured his hamstring, and he's not going to be practicing for a week. So what does that mean for Shedeur Sanders? And I guess you could say Dylan Gabriel, throw him in the mix. More reps, and potentially more reps with the ones. Let me read you out this official report word for word on the Saturday performance. Shedeur Sanders had his best day of training camp on Saturday. The Colorado rookie threw 3 touchdown passes with the second team in the 11-on-11s, once again showcasing his exceptional touch and ball placement. He had the throw of the day on a score to Luke, then he perfectly placed the ball between 2 defenders to Deontay Johnson in the back of the end zone. He also threw a nice long pass to K. McDonald for a touchdown. During the low red zone session, it was Dylan Gabriel who remained with Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett and the first team on the main field. Shedeur went to the other field for additional modified team reps. The important thing to note about that? Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry spent the session on the other field watching Shedeur and the other players over there. Interesting. Really interesting if you could ask me. Now I know what Timothy and Bobby are running to the comment section and say, well, Matt, he had one good practice. Let's see him do it consistently. And I'm right there with you, my brother. That's why I didn't make a video over the weekend hyping this up. I was like, let me sit back and relax and see how Shedeur Sanders does on Monday. Can he string together back-to-back great practices? I hate to spoil this for you, but newsflash, buddy, he did. I'll show you one of his touchdown passes, which was an absolute dot and a dime, what do you want to call it, in the back of the end zone. Matt wrote a clip. How did the rest of his practice go? Pretty good if you guys ask me. He didn't throw an incompletion. He went 9 for 9. Let me say it again, 9 for 9. 2 touchdowns, 0 INTs. And look, let me state this before we go any farther. I get it. Somehow, some way, people are still going to find a way to hate on him. I'm not just predicting it's going to happen in the comment section of this video. I know it's going to happen because it's Shedeur Sanders. People love hating on him. I'm sure there's going to be people in the comment section, as when I'm speaking right now, writing, oh, that pass you showed us, Matt, that wasn't a perfect spiral. Well, Matt, that would have been a sack in the game. Oh, Matt, what was that one guy doing? Who was it, number 29? Why didn't he pick that off? A really good safety corner, whatever. They're going to pick that off. It's going to be something like that. Y'all got to understand something, guys. It doesn't matter what he does. It will never be good enough for some people. It won't. I'll give you another example. There's going to be some people saying, oh, well, it's practice. Come on, Matt, the Allen Iverson reference. We talking about practice? Those are the same people who would be saying if Shedeur Sanders went 2 for 9 today with 3 interceptions, 0 touchdowns, calling him a bust, critiquing him. So you see what I'm saying? When he does good, it's just practice. But if he does bad, oh yeah, I told you he was a bust. He can't win. It doesn't matter what he does. But I want to go back to this. I told you guys in the previous video, I told you when he got drafted by the Browns, I already think he's better than Dylan Gabriel. This isn't some shocking announcement or news from Matt B. Great, because I thought he was better than Dylan Gabriel in college, and I stated it during the season. But here's where things really start to get interesting if you're the Browns. Week 1, who is the most ready starter and who gives you the best chance to win right away? No ifs, ands, or buts about it for me. It's Joe Flacco. I know he's pushing 60, but he does give you the best chance, just due to veteran experience alone. But here's the predicament with that. With Flacco, what is your peak? What is your ceiling? 8 wins? 9 wins? Maybe? My point is, if you're not going to win a Super Bowl with Flacco within the next couple of years, you should be grooming your next franchise quarterback, or at least attempting to do that. You see what I'm saying? I've always believed this. The worst case scenario for a sports fan is your team goes 7-10, 8-9, 10-7, something like that every single year. You're stuck in the middle. You're not bad enough where you can get a franchise-changing player in the first round of the NFL draft, like a Cam Newton, a number 1 pick, but you're not good enough to where you're actually competing for Super Bowls. And that's the dilemma you're going to face with Flacco, because he's right there. He's good enough to win you 7, 8, 9, 10 games per year, but you're not going to be competing for a championship. So let's just skip that phase, head on to phase number 2, and attempting to find our new young star quarterback that can potentially be a starter for the next, 8, 10, 12, possibly 14 years. You never know. And even if Shedeur Sanders, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, they wet the bed and you find out, okay, he's not the guy, at least you found it out this year and you don't have to continue to wait. Getting Flacco out the way, y'all know how I feel about Kenny Pickett. He's trash. I don't even think he should be competing for a starting spot, but apparently the Browns really like him. I don't really break down NFL quarterback competitions much because normally there's not a lot going on, but this is one of the messier ones I've ever seen. And oh yeah, by the way, Deshaun Watson is eventually going to come back from that injury, so who knows how they're going to handle this or what they're going to do. Hypothetically speaking, for the sake of this video, what if, let's just say it's Pickett, Gabriel, or Sanders, they're balling out, lead the Browns to an 11-6 record this year? Do you want to switch quarterbacks and go back to Deshaun Watson? Probably not, but you feel like you have to because you're paying him all that money. I don't know what's going to happen there, but here's what I do know. Sanders is balling out, and for me, not the Browns, I don't work for the Browns. For me, he is leading the quarterback race. Do I think he'll start? Do I think he'll win this job? Absolutely not. The writing is on the wall. You know why. I'm not even going to explain it. When you're low on that totem pole in the NFL, you're a 5th-round pick, you got guys ahead of you that have more skin in the game, it's an uphill battle. We'll see what happens. Many more things I could say. We're going to end out this video here. I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts down below. But